Hey, what's up, guys? So here's my another video I'm doing over the break here, over winter break, and this one's like me. I wanted to try to predict the awards for the end of the NFL year. So this is like things like MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, so on and so forth. And so I drew up a short list. There might be missing a few names. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% accurate. I didn't get to look through everything and all the rookie stats and all the stuff that I usually do because I'm on a bit of a time crunch here. I only have so much time to record these videos now with everyone around the house. Uh, anyways, this is what I came up with in terms of the MVP. This is what I have right now. You can see I have multiple players lined up for this. I have Gurley one. Gurley. The reason I have him up there is he's leading the league in all in like if you combine rushing and receiving yards, I guess yards from scrimmage. He's leading the league. He also has a ton of touchdowns this year. Brady's number two. Brady could easily be number one. Honestly, those two could really switch at any time. I think he's leading the league in yards right now. His touchdown to interception ratio is just as always. It's really good. And the Pats are obviously playing phenomenal. I still have Carson Wentz at three, even though he had his injury, because at that time he was the front runner for the MVP, and we'd gone through the majority of the season already. I don't think he'll win it, but I still think he deserves to be in consideration for it. Four is Antonio Brown, again another guy who got injured, but once again he was basically once Carson Wentz went down for like a 2 or 3 week period, he was the guy competing with Tom Brady for the MVP spot, and now he's injured, so he's basically not going to win it either. But he's also a guy who got a lot of consideration for the award during this season. Should be still be respected for what he did. And number five is Le'Veon Bell. Usually we'd see a guy like David Johnson or Zeke Elliott also competing for this spot, but I have Le'Veon Bell here instead. Because obviously Zeke got suspended, David Johnson was injured. Bell is just a great all-purpose yards back. I think he's probably second in yards from scrimmage to Todd Gurley. Just if I take a guess, because usually Bell's the guy who's up there, close to leading the league and that stuff. Moving on to Offensive Player of the Year, I have Gurley / Brady at number one. Again, I believe whoever doesn't get the MVP award is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. Because they tend to do that with these awards. They tend to spread them out a little bit. So I think whoever doesn't win MVP is going to take the Offensive Player of the Year award. Also, again, Antonio Brown, Carson Wentz, Le'Veon Bell. I moved Brown up a little bit higher because of he played a little bit longer during the year. He was contributing a lot more. In terms of a receiver year, he was having a great year, a phenomenal year. He just got injured at the very end. So I moved him up a little bit. For Defensive Player of the Year, this is a tough one because in years past, we've always kind of had more of a front runner, I feel like, or a big name guy like J.J. Watt, or maybe a guy like Von Miller up there, or Luke Kuechly or something like that. But this year we don't really have any of the, I guess you could call it the classical guys, or the guys we're used to seeing up there. Well, Aaron Donald's still up there, but it's a little bit different this year in terms of the names we're looking at. So first off, I have Jalen Ramsey. I have Jalen Ramsey winning it. Because in my mind, he's been the best cornerback this year around the league, and he's meant probably the most to that team. I know Calais Campbell, his teammate, is at number two in my list. He's second in the league in sacks. He's had just a phenomenal year. Will probably be a first-team All-Pro player this year. But in my opinion, I still think Ramsey means more to that team than Campbell does, because having that lockdown corner is just a phenomenal spot, something you always are looking for. And I know they have two good corners and two good defensive ends, so kind of like they have good backups in place for both these guys, but I think just Ramsey's play was more impressive to me than Campbell's. Even though Campbell certainly had a phenomenal year, he'd be more than deserving of winning this award. I know a lot of people are picking him to win it. Number three at Aaron Donald. As an interior lineman, he had a great year, a phenomenal year. I think it's like 11. He's at like 11 sacks right now. But Campbell's got 14 and a half, so he's a little bit behind him in terms of statistics. Obviously, we know everything about Aaron Donald. He's probably the best defensive tackle in the league right now. But I still lean towards Campbell. Campbell had a more statistically advantageous year. Even though I know Donald plays more on the inside, but Campbell does too sometimes. Even though Donald plays more as an interior lineman and still manages to record all these stats, I still lean a little bit more towards Campbell in my opinion. Just because I just found him more dominant. I don't know why. I just felt like he was a more dominant player during the year. Number four, I have Harrison Smith. He's a do-it-all safety. He can cover. He can stop the run, especially stop the run. He's great at that. He gets tackles, interceptions, forced fumbles. He can put pressure on a quarterback. He's gotten sacks before. In my opinion, he's a very underrated safety, and he hasn't really been rewarded for his play throughout the year and throughout past years. And this year, I think he's gonna, or should at least get consideration for the Defensive Player of the Year award. I don't think he's gonna win it. I think he's probably gonna be one of the top 3 guys, but I still think he deserves consideration. I have him at number 4. And number 5 is the future of the league, or one of the future players of the league, Joey Bosa. And he's also over 10 sacks. He's got a ton of tackles this year. He is one of the most versatile defensemen I've seen in a while. He's got the speed, the power. He's got everything. He just needs a little bit more refinement. And I think probably by next year, or maybe the year after that, he'll be probably the best or second best defensive end in the league, probably. Moving on to Offensive Rookie of the Year. I have Kareem Hunt winning it over Alvin Kamara, and this is a close one. Kamara and Hunt are both Pro Bowl players at running back. My thing is, though, Hunt has a lot more yards from scrimmage than Kamara does. Kamara's got, I want to say, 600 yards rushing and 700 yards receiving. But Hunt has, that much yards combined in rushing, and also on top of that has a good amount of receiving yards. Kamara's probably been Kamara's been on the better team this year. It's probably being a bigger threat for his team, but I think Hunt's actually played better if you look at the long run. And Hunt, Kamara, it's hard because Kamara's listed as a running back, but I think he actually has more receiving yards than rushing yards. And of course, his averages for both are incredibly good. But Hunt is just a pure style running back who, can run up the gut, can run outside. He's just good all around. He's also a good receiving back. And I just, what does it for me is the yards from scrimmage. He just has so many more than Kamara that I'm taking Hunt over him. Third is Leonard Fournette. Again, I don't think 3 and 4 are really in the race to even win this thing. But, Fournette almost had 1,000 yards this year. He still hit it, I guess, in the last week of the season. But a very good rookie year for him. In Jacksonville, obviously. Deshaun Watson's at 4. He got injured way on early in the season. But he was playing so well that I decided, you have to put him on this list anyways, just out of respect. Because he was really going to set a ton of rookie records. So he just stayed healthy. Defensive Rookie of the Year, in my opinion, it's not even close. It's Marshawn Lattimore, probably hands down. I don't think there's any competition for it. But I guess I put guys up here anyways. Tre'Davious White, in my opinion, played really well this year for Buffalo. As long as he just doesn't hit a sophomore slump next year, I think he'll be a good player for them to come. Possibly will be a Pro Bowl, or at least competing for a Pro Bowl spot next year. Some people had him in the Pro Bowl slump this year. I didn't think so, but, still a very good year. And then TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. These two could probably switch spots. Garrett didn't play the entire year. Well, he got hurt a little bit, so he didn't play the entire year. I think Watt missed 1 or 2 games too. Watt had a great opening week, first week in the NFL, and then kind of dropped off a little bit. Just 6 sacks. I think Garrett also had 6. Garrett obviously played fewer snaps and missed more time. So I think Garrett could jump Watt, but, he didn't play a lot, and Watt played a lot more time, so Watt might just stay in that spot. But anyways, I don't think it's even competition. I think Marshawn Lattimore is the guy who takes it home. For Comeback Player of the Year, I put Earl Thomas up here, but because, he missed basically all last year. I put Gronk up here too. Gronk played half the year, but really wasn't himself during that time. Ended up missing good 8 or 9 games last year. So I think he could definitely compete for this award. Keenan Allen, again, he's the guy who got injured, missed most of last year. Same with Justin Houston. I think it's between these 3 guys up here because Houston played great. He had 9.5 sacks this year. Should have been a Pro Bowler, but wasn't. I just don't think he's going to win. I think it's going to go to one of these 3. Thomas, Gronk, and Keenan Allen are all Pro Bowlers this year. Keenan Allen hit the 1,000 yards receiving mark. Earl Thomas has been a guy who's been considered the best safety in the league by many for years. And Gronk, is the best tight end in the league when he's healthy. I still think it's going to go Earl Thomas, though, because, Gronk did play half the year last year. And, his issue with, his suspension, it's probably going to hurt him. Basically, how it's a public, it shouldn't be done based off, how you play on the field, not how you play on the field, but how you act on the field or how you act off the field. But still, voters take that into account kind of without even meaning to. Gronk's obviously dirty hit on Tre'Davious White is probably going to be taken into account. So, I don't think he'll win. I think that's kind of a bit of a stain on him. I think Earl Thomas will take it instead of Gronk. And then coach of the year, it's for me, it's not even a competition, it's not even a race. I think it's just Sean McVay. Period. For what he's done with the Rams, it's been incredible. He had the pieces, I think, going into it, but they needed a coach to kind of put it all together and run a good scheme, and basically, coach the team to a win. They had talent, but they needed the final piece, that final coach, the guy who could bring it all together. Sean McVay is that guy. He's young. Uh, he's great. He's helping the team already to a great year. Best year they've had since probably the Kurt Warner era. In my opinion, Sean McVay is the coach of the year.